Well, hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Jared, and I host a daily live podcast where we discuss news and politics. And, I don't usually call out politicians, but Mark Wayne Mullin is a pussy. And here's how I know. I was in the Marine Corps Infantry 20 years ago. I got out about 18 years ago. I have lived in Indianapolis, Indiana for over 20 years. And I ain't talking about a suburb. I'm talking about I lived in Marion County. I've lived on 38th and Emerson, 16th and fucking Downey, 71st and fucking Emerson. And now I'm a homeowner and I live in Lawrence, which is still in Marion County. And you know what my wife bitches at me about? Leaving my car doors unlocked, leaving the garage door open in the car, not owning a firearm. Do you get it now? Your elected officials are fucking pussies. Mark Wayne Mullin is a pussy. Because only a bitch sits around acting all tough and then says on fucking Fox News that I drive around with my seatbelt off in Washington, D.C. because I'm afraid to get carjacked. You fucking chuckle fuck. Ain't doing shit about the decline in education in your state and how you're one of the poorest and one of the most uninsured. Are underinsured and most uneducated. I just want to continue to point out that it's the racism is the primary reason that Washington, D.C. is the first target here. It's obviously it's also political because the citizens of Washington, D.C. are like 76% to vote Democrat because they live in the nation's capital and they see who operates the government better. And then also want to continue to point out that Washington, D.C. has a 45% non-white rate for its citizens. And this is also backed up by Washington, D.C. having one of the highest concentrations of black people in the United States for the last 50 years. Until this last year, a bunch of black people left Washington, D.C. And then obviously look at whatever the fuck is going on in Washington, D.C. right now. And Benny Johnson, may you meet a Luigi. Benny Johnson said that he felt like we should treat parts of Washington, D.C. like the Gaza Strip. He feels like entire neighborhoods are infested and should just be bombed out. And before a shot's fired, I just want to point out how vile and how dangerous and how racist a language that is, especially given that it's already happened in our past. Government's already firebombed majority black communities. It ain't going over well this time. Because I'm getting out way ahead of it and pointing out they're using all the language that Benjamin Netanyahu has used before committing a fucking genocide in Gaza. And Donald J. Trump and his wives and his children and Donald Trump's best friend, Jeffrey Epstein, and his best friend's wife, Ghislaine Maxwell, ran an international sex trafficking ring for the better part of 20 years. Oh, and I want to point this out. I say the same shit on TikTok that I do on YouTube and Twitch, and I have not even got so much as a fucking warning on them other platforms. And I want to continue to point out that TikTok hired a former IDF Special Forces to manage their community. So if you ever wonder why I ain't on it, it's because I got a lot of videos that say Free Palestine and Slava Ukraine. I just want to point that out. All of these wealthy billionaires are co-opting fascism because right now it's making them money. But as I've said before, as more people wake up to this regime and how harmful it is, they're going to wonder who not to fuck with. As I've said, no Facebook, Threads, IG, WhatsApp, Messenger, Twitter, or Amazon. Fuck them. All of them. Bezos, Zuckerberg, Bill Gates. Learned about what a big piece of shit Bill Gates is yesterday. Oh, and by the way, like a dozen or more CEOs have unalived since the start of 2025. And again, I don't own a firearm and I work from home and I'm not going to commit any acts of violence. That's silly. But I think when you use violent rhetoric, I want for you, those words that come out of your mouth, I want that that energy to return to you. Anyway, have a fantastic rest of your day.